Hi everyone, welcome to the second lecture of disaster and disaster management. In the last video we have gone through these portions of disaster management, disaster damage and disaster impact. In this video I'm going to try to finish hazards, vulnerability and risk, and let's see we can finish classification or not. So here, if you haven't watched it, please go and watch the previous video. That will obviously help you to understand this video. तो डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट मैंने सिखा दिया था कैसे याद रखना है. OMRR, let me take white. OMRR, it's not working. I have taken black, sorry. So it's OMRR, disaster management, organization and management of resources and responsibilities dealing with the disaster to reduce the impact. What is disaster? मैंने सिखाया था EHC, environment, human and economic losses, और rock का वो disruption, breakdown of the rocks, कि function बंद हो जाएगा, functioning of a community due to vulnerability, hazards and incapability of reducing the risk. ठीक है. We have gone through disaster damage, destruction of physical assets, DD, impact, AEIOU are the vowels, so E, effect, EI होता है तो E, effect, positive and negative. I have discussed such things. I think I have missed this part, so I have added this part in this video, that E and I, you can remember this. I have explained all the things. I hope that concept is clear to you. So in this video lecture we are going to cover the three concepts of hazards, vulnerability and risk. So let us see what are hazards, what are the keywords in hazards. I always remember the keywords that help me to frame an answer. So hazards, condition, potential, condition, determined, susceptibility. Physics वाला susceptibility नहीं है. If you have science background, in 11 and 12 we study about, in 12th class we study about susceptibility. So that's physics thing, science thing we are dealing with now. Literary thing, so let's see the definition of literature. And risk is a measure, okay, and there is a mathematical equation, that's prob of hazards into degree of vulnerability. ठीक है. So let us see the condition of hazard, not the definition of hazard, not the condition of hazard. So hazard may be defined as a condition that has a potential to treat EHE. In the previous video I have explained you what is this. Economy, which implies the property. Human, that is the life of a people, common citizens, and this one is environment. Okay. So hazard can be defined as a condition that has a potential to threat property, life and environment, or you can simply write economy, hazards and environment, whatever you like to, you may just understand the thing. So there are two kind of hazards. One is natural hazard and another one is anthropogenic hazard. What is anthropogenic, do you know? It's man-made. And what are natural? Naturally occurring, like cloudburst, volcano, tsunami. Man-made, pollution, deforestation, एक डैम कंस्ट्रक्ट हुआ टूट गया, एक ब्रिज कंस्ट्रक्ट हुआ टूट गया. Dam came in 2023 CAC mains exam. So now I think war can come, civil strife can come. Civil strife, you know, it's a riot. Then that can come. As an officer, how you can stop this riots? As a senior officer in the Ministry of India, how you can stop a war? What you can do if any enemy suddenly attacks to the Indian territory? Obviously armies will do, but obviously some of the policies are decided here, like in Delhi, the capital. So what you will do, how you can make policies, some question how you can manage the disaster. These are also disasters. Dam, pollution, okay, deforestation, desertification, global warming. These are anthropogenic hazards. And natural hazards are divided into some of the parts, which are geophysical, GC, MB, GC or MB, or middle mage. I remember like this. You can form your own methodology to remember the things. Climatological, hydrological, meteorological, biological. Corona, COVID pandemic is biological disaster. Geophysical, Ebola, tsunami, earthquake, and so on. Climatological, we have hydrological like floods, or meteorological like cyclone. Okay. So these are the points. Now I have to rub some of the things. Can I rub everything? Yeah, I hope so. Now let us see what is the definition of vulnerability. So guys, what is vulnerability? Vulnerability, what are the keywords? The keywords I should enter here. Condition and potential. Here condition means सब एक condition ही है. Condition, तो क्या था? Determined. Other thing is this one is measure. I'll rewrite the mathematical equation, no problem. Condition, determined, and susceptibility. So what is vulnerability? Vulnerability is again a condition that is determined by several factors, like again EHC. EHC is very important. EHE is very important for this chapter. Economic, human. Just break it into physical and social. Physical here is the geographical location. I will explain it. Social, that is actually signifying human, and environment. Factors. That enhances susceptibility of a community to the impact of hazards. Okay. So let us see the meaning again. Suppose this is a seashore. Here are some buildings, mud buildings. Okay, not buildings, mud house. They're not so strong, not so capable of holding such enormous cyclones. Cyclone has been developed here. It's reaching the shore. So tell me one thing. You are living in a city or a small town or a big town, whatever, and a friend of yours is residing this seashore in a mud house. The cyclone is coming. Okay, I am now telling the meaning of vulnerability. Kindly listen carefully. That will help you to understand. Your house is here. Your friend's house is here. Who will get more impact? Your friend, right? His house might get destroyed. Officers may come and take his and his family, his or her, whatever, doesn't matter, his or her family to a safe place. Maybe you can call your friends and his or her family members to your house, right? But ultimately his house will get collapsed. Okay, destroy हो जाएगा. So why your house is over here and why his or her house is over here? So please thank your parents. Thank your parents that your house is over here, and maybe his faith is not like that. His fate and destiny is not like that. Unfortunate that is. Maybe some reasons, socio-economic reasons, the past. Okay, his family past. His house is over here. He's not so economically strong that he can afford a house over here in your locality, but you can, right? इसलिए तो हम इतना पढ़ रहे हैं कि हमारा जीवन ठीक हो, right? Parents have done many things for us, many things for us. Now it's our time to pay back. But I don't think so payback is a very good word to use, but we should. Okay, so what is vulnerability and susceptibility? The chance of getting affected due to a disaster is vulnerability. And what are the causes behind it? It might be economic, it might be physical, the geographical location. Your house is over here, his house is over here. The social, yes, your society is better than him. That's the real truth. Say the harsh truth, no problem in that. You're living in a society, people are educated over here, you have more chances, you have good infrastructure. There is a chance that you will be successful than him because of these things. Environment, right? So that is vulnerability, the chance of getting affected due to a disaster. Now let us read. Okay, risk हम यहाँ पर कर लेते हैं. What is risk and how to decrease this risk? So risk is actually a measure of the expected losses. I am just drawing this one figure, right? Having these buildings and cyclone, because I am from Bengal, so we actually get sometimes cyclones from Bay of Bengal. I have studied this in geography, why Bay of Bengal has more cyclones than Arabian Sea. Okay, the shape and everything. So that's why I'm citing this example. You have the famous Sundarbans, and there are many mud houses. They actually get affected by floods, cyclones. Officers go there. Amphan. It was very disastrous. Very disastrous. Even I remembered a glass of a window of my house got broken, and I really stay away from this area. But it was dangerous. It was dangerous. 80 people in West Bengal died due to Amphan. I still remember. It was a few years back. So it happens, and we can just try. In front of nature we're nothing. So measure of the expected losses. This is risk. Obviously in a given area and time, you have to measure the losses. You have to measure कि कितना risk है. What square kilometer? What is the term? Disaster damage. If you have gone through the video, you should answer this. Disaster damage. यूनिट क्या होता है? किलोमीटर ऑफ रोड, ऐसे होता है. ठीक है, ये कितना स्क्वायर किलोमीटर ऑफ बिल्डिंग्स कोलैप्स हुआ, लाइक दिस. सो इन अ गिवन एरिया एंड टाइम. सो रिस्क actually comes into action when hazards interact with vulnerability, right? What is the hazard over here? Cyclone. Who are the vulnerable people? Residing closer to the seashore. They are vulnerable. Fine. So, and the mathematical equation is written, which is what type of spelling I'm writing, sorry. probability of hazards into degree of vulnerability. You see the interaction of hazards with vulnerability. So that's a mathematical equation written. You just understand that what is the risk. It's a measure of the expected loss. Okay. So how this is very important as an officer when you will become an officer. That will be required कि कैसे risk manage करना है. So what are the ways? One is risk acceptance. To give up to the nature. कि nature, you have come to me. I know I can't do anything. You just take away. I accept it. As an officer, you know that these houses can't be saved. Okay, a 200 km per hour storm is coming. These houses can't be saved. They will get collapsed. So that's the risk acceptance. Okay. Then we have risk avoidance. You can take these people to a safer place. The lives of the people will get spared due to the cyclone. That's avoidance. You are avoiding the risk. Okay. Then we have risk transfer. You see, government is obviously always trying to make insurance companies, life insurance corporation. You should have an insurance. If you die, not you die, I don't want that, but I'm just giving an example. If a human being over here dies, he or she should have some insurance so that his next generation actually don't face some problems due to monetary issue. That's why insurance is important. So that's the risk transfer. ठीक है, the burden of risk. देखो आप तो चले जाओगे ठीक है, बट आपका जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है, your child, they shouldn't get any monetary problem because of you or because of your negligence. So that's why risk transfer is important. Then we have risk acceptance, avoidance, reduction. You can do one thing. In geography you have also studied. Suppose it's a seashore. Okay, you can plant some trees over here, not in the sand, but there are some structure of seashores in which it is possible. I hope if you have seen many videos, like here is a seashore and there are trees and there are the buildings. Obviously the first impact of anything, of a storm or something like that, these trees will absorb. ये शहीद हो जाएंगे और यहाँ पर कम impact आएगा. There will be less impact. Okay, so that's a technique, a scientific technique to be followed for risk reduction. This is just an example I have given you. So all this about risk, vulnerability and hazard. Let me continue and finish the video because this is not so tough. I think the concept is clear to you about hazards, vulnerability and risk. Okay, now let us see the classification of disasters on the basis of source. Also we have studied natural hazards and anthropogenic hazard. Same thing, disaster is actually the cumulative of this hazard. It's a combination of hazard, vulnerability and risk, incapability of reducing the risk. So natural disaster क्या होता है? Naturally occurring physical phenomena. They are natural disasters. Example, earthquake, tsunami, volcanic eruption, ठीक है, then cyclone, flood, drought, बहुत कुछ. Anthropogenic same, man made होता है, pollution, global warming, what हो सकता है, deforestation हो सकता है, deforestation, like this. Now on the basis of duration we have rapid onset and slow onset. What is rapid onset? These are not predictable as such. Have you ever Heard any news? Have you ever hear any news that there will be an earthquake after 10 days? They are not predictable. Cyclone is predictable to some extent, not always. Drought is predictable. Tsunami is after earthquake. It's not easy to predict. So they are not so predictable. Not so predictable. Predictable. Slow onset. Stay for a short period. भूकंप आया, 1 मिनट के लिए रहा, फिर चला गया और फिर सब ख़त्म कर दिया. अगर एक 8 पॉइंटर वाला कुछ आ जाए रिक्टर स्केल में तो ख़त्म सब. In India, I don't want this happen, but Japan has developed a lot for this earthquake. Their buildings, I'm telling you in the last video. Okay, so not so predictable. This remains for a longer period. They're very intense. Example: earthquake, tsunami, and these are drought, global warming, okay, desertification, and so on. So here my lecture ends. The most important thing in this lecture is clearing the basic concept in both the parts. Disaster management, you know how to write OMRR. Disaster, रॉक का डिसरप्शन हो गया, और EHE याद रखते हैं ना. EHE is very important. Economic, human and environment. Disaster management, here is D, and D for destruction of physical assets. I have told you the units. Impact, AEIO, effect. Hazard, what is the keyword? Condition, potential. Vulnerability, what are the keywords? Condition. Obviously these are keywords from my side. Your keywords might change, but as I'm explaining, I'm also helping you to remember the things. Determined by the factors, and risk is a measure, and susceptibility for science students. And measure, classification of disasters: natural, anthropogenic if it shows, and it's rapid onset and slow onset, on the basis of duration. So I hope you have enjoyed both the lectures, and this is the very basic things related to the disaster and disaster management that is required as a preliminary to understand the next portions. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Thank you.